Yesterday morning on the show, I tried to get a hold of Bart Andrews, the definitive biographer of Lucille Ball, and finally did get a hold of him. Bart had to come to as a shock to you and to everybody. It came so suddenly when Lucille Ball passed away.
I know, it really was. 2 days ago, she was doing great. They moved her out of intensive care into a private room where she had around-the-clock nurses, of course, on call there. And then yesterday at 5 a.m., of course, as we all know now, she died of just what they call total cardiac arrest. And but I remember what the doctor had said last week after surgery. He had told the family that the next 7 days after surgery are the most critical. If she can pull out of that, and survive it. And this is the seventh day. Well, yesterday was the seventh day.
Isn't that something? I know she was even joking, evidently, saying something about, wouldn't you know it, this happened on the day I was supposed to have my hair set.
Yeah, she told it to little Lucy, yeah. I'd heard that.
What was the last time you saw Lucille Ball?
Well, personally or on TV?
Well, personally.
Well, it's been about 6 months now. But, of course, everyone saw her in the Oscar cast, and, of course, she looked fabulous.
Yeah.
And that was, only a month ago?
She sounded fantastic. She was the old Lucy, wasn't she?
Yes, she sure was, with that dress slid up to her belly button there. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah. You wrote at least a couple of books. I know the 3 books on Lucy.
Yeah.
What are the things you remember most about her? I mean, all of us really did love Lucy because she was into our homes and all that, but what kind of things are we overlooking or aren't we hearing about when it comes to Lucille Ball when we remember?
Well, maybe we don't remember that she had a long movie career before I Love Lucy ever went on the air in 1951.
Something like 75 films?
Well, she made 69 before Lucy went on the air. She made 76 in total. So obviously made very few after the TV show became popular. But we don't realize that she arrived in Hollywood, young woman, young girl, 1933 on a train to be a Golden girl, and appeared in a couple of Golden movies as an ingenue type, which had blonde hair at the time, and worked her way through a couple of years of that, then get put under contract to Columbia to make shorts.
She made one with the Three Stooges, I know.
Yeah, it's called Little Pigskin, set on a football field. And then got fired from that because they ran out of money for the stock company, so they let her off one night. That was $75 a week. Of course, that was the 30s. That was a lot of money. And somebody told her, why don't you go to RKO? They're hiring showgirls for a new Fred Astaire movie. And so she walked over. It's a walk about 10 blocks in Hollywood. Walked over there, hired that night to be somebody in just a pretty face in Roberta. And was put under contract after that. They liked what they saw, and she stayed there for about 6 years. Made all kinds of films, including Stage Door and with Katharine Hepburn and Ginger Rogers and such. So she had a nice career there, and she got some starring parts as a result of her association with RKO, which, of course, as we probably remember, she later bought in 1957 with the $6 million that CBS paid them to buy the rerun rights to I Love Lucy.
Mm-hmm. It was something like $5,000 they used to start Desilu Productions, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's a little bit hazy. Actually, it always sounds like they made the pilot for $5,000 of their own money. They started the company with $5,000, but CBS paid $19,000 to put the pilot, on the air. I mean, they're the ones who pay for the pilot.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. You say that they were the ones that developed the 3-camera film technique.
Still being used today. I mean, Murphy Brown, that they used the same method that Desi invented the summer of 1951 out of thin air.
When you think about it, Lucille Ball worked with all of them. She worked with the Marx Brothers in room service. And
she did.
She worked with...
kind of cute there, too.
She was a gorgeous girl, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Here's something that people probably don't remember, and I think you pointed out in one of your books, is the fact that... didn't she have trouble walking at one time when she really started?
Yeah, that was actually before she came out here. She had been involved in, I think, a minor automobile accident, which caused some kind of a problem for her walking. Something with arthritis, and she was laid up for a couple of years, actually, learning to walk again.
Yeah. I heard Steve Allen and some other people make some comments yesterday saying that Lucille Ball was like a little child. She never really grew up, and she was fun to be around. Is that the way you found her?
She was fun, although a very serious woman, but she was fun on her own. If she wasn't working, she was fun. If she was working, everything was serious. You just didn't fool around. You were there to do a job, and you had to do it well, or you were out.
Yeah, comedy.
So you were a performer or, a technician or something. She was very, very professional, and she wanted only the best, and, of course, it showed.
Comedy to her was serious business, and I don't think she really thought of herself as being a comedian, did she?
No, she never did, because she just felt she was an actress who was able to do that kind of material. She's not a funny lady, never was, and she'll be the first one to say, I don't have a sense of humor. The sense of humor in that family belonged to Little Lucy. and still does.
Mm-hmm.
She just was not one to crack jokes, and that was that thing that was strange when people met her, expected, like I did when I met her to do the books way back 13 or 14 years ago. I expected this woman to come to the door with a blacked-out tooth and a fright wig. I don't know why, because I was naive. I was, writing comedy out here at that point for 10 or 12 years, but I just expected that of her, because that's what I always knew her to be. And when she came to the door wearing a very smart suit and her hair just perfect and, with a cigarette in her hand, I said, "Oh my Lord, this is the real Lucy."
Yeah. It's funny that
serious. It's the first thing she asked me, "Who is going to read this?" Like I was nuts even thinking about this book.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people did read it because it turned out to be a great seller.
500,000 people have read that book so far.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing to me.
When you look at it, now she was neighbors with Jack Benny at one time, wasn't she?
Yes. And Jimmy Stewart.
It's just that circle now that seems to be getting smaller and smaller.
Well, I guess so. I mean, out of the I Love Lucy legend, the legacy, we've lost within the last 4 months, Jess Oppenheimer, who created the show. On Sunday, we lost Mark Daniels, who directed the first 38 episodes. And now Lucy, of course, and we've now lost the entire main cast. Desi died a couple of years ago, as you remember.
Right.
I think we even did an interview then.
I think we did. We've talked a number of times. Bart, I know it's been a busy time for you with all the phone calls, and I know you have TV things to do now, and people are looking to you as well as everybody else to I suppose, talk about it and try to get over what seems like a loss for all of us.
Yeah. Well, the best part of this is that we'll always have her because she was on film.
That's true. Mm-hmm. That's true. It's a great series. I guess it's still in circulation, isn't it?
Sure is, all around the world.
And, well, America lost the queen of comedy, as they said. I guess it's because of books like yours that also keep the image alive, too.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
I hope so.
Is that still in publication?
It sure is. It sure is. It's in its 12th printing.
It's called...
the I Love Lucy book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bart, thank you for talking to us.
Thanks so much.